begin our rationalization for this verbal reasoning. It will cover questions from 31 up until 75. Okay? You can comment in the comment section while we are answering. Okay. For items 31 and 35, the direction is to select the most grammatically correct sentence from among the five given choices. Now, I'm sure na medyo mahirap kasi lalo na kapag hindi ka English major na i-identify kung asan yung grammatical correct sentence. Pero guys, madali lang siya kapag you know what to find or you know what to look for. Ibig sabihin, ano dapat yung titignan mo lang. Sige, let's analyze the statements. The first statement, the gifts of healthy and life. Oh, imagine if you look at the first subject here, the gifts of healthy and life. The gifts of health and life are precious things that every individual should learn to preserve and care for. At first blush, wala namang pagkakamali. Tignan natin si number 2. Precious things that many individuals should learn and preserve and care for are the gifts of health and life. That every individual should learn to preserve and care for our precious gifts of health and life. Every individual should learn to preserve and care for gifts of health and that are precious things. And the gifts of health and life for every individual should learn to preserve and care for are the precious things in life. So, mapapansin mo si option number 5, the gifts of life, the gifts of health and life of every individual, tama siya, should learn to preserve. Sino yung magle-learn to preserve? Yung subject niya, yung health and life. Guys, ang correct answer po sa question na ito ay C, option 1. Bakit? Because the gifts of health and life, ayan po yung kanyang subject. No? Ang parts po of a sentence, we have two. Yun lang po yung titignan nyo, yung parts ng sentence. We have two parts. First one is the subject. The second one is the predicate. Mapapansin nyo po, yung subject, siya po yung nasa unahan. Siya po yung nasa unahan lagi ng sentence. Kaya nga po yung formation po natin or construction po natin ng English grammar or ng English sentence, tinatawag po natin yung syntax, ay S, V, at saka O. Ano po yung SVO, sir? Pag sinabi po natin SVO, ang meaning po niyan ay subject, verb, object. Kung mapapansin niyo, yung subject na si John, ayan siya yung una. Tapos yung verb niya is going. Tapos yung object to school, yun yung predicate. Ngayon guys, itong verb at saka object, ayan po yung predicate. No? Madali lang siyang i-memorize kasi SVO po yung ating tatandaan nyo lang lagi. SVO. SVO. Ngayon po, ano po yung pinaka-common na subject, sir? Ang pinaka-common na subject are nouns and pronouns. Tingnan mo si John. Si John po ay nouns. Di ba alam niyo po na yung nouns are names of things, person, or animals, or anything. Basta pangalan po yan. Noun po yan. Yung pronoun naman po ay yung pinapalit mo sa noun. Like I, you, we, they, them. Yun po yung mga pronoun. So sila po yung most of the time, yung subject. Nandyan po sila. Ngayon, kung babalik po tayo dito, bakit hindi pwede si number 2? Sino mo? Precious things. Kung ikaw po, alam niyo po ba yung noun na precious things? 'Di ba? Hindi po siya concrete. Ibig sabihin, yung precious things, masyado siyang maraming pwedeng i-include. Pwedeng yung precious things kay gemstones. Pwedeng yung precious things kay jewelry or alahas. 'Di ba? So marami ka pong pwedeng i-connect sa precious things. Ibig sabihin, hindi po siya specific. I-compare po natin siya sa number 1. The gifts of health and life. O, specify niya po yung subject. Yung noun po dyan, yung health, at saka yung life. So, correct na po tayo sa subject. Check na po tayo dyan. Sa number 2, wrong na agad. Tignan natin si number 3. Bakit po siya mali? Si number 3 po, mali po siya because of awkward inversion. Ibig sabihin, pinagpalit niya po yung subject at saka yung predicate. Di ba po, dapat yung subject natin ay noun? Nasaan po yung noun dito? Nandito po, health and life. Nasa hulihan na po siya. So yung subject po ay yung naging forma niya po ay predicate bago yung subject. So ibig sabihin pinagbaliktad niya. Kaya grammatically wrong din po siya. No? Pinagbaliktad niya yung subject at saka yung predicate. Dapat po nauuna yung noun bago yung that every individual. Diba? Kasi hindi na po siya nagsimula ng subject, nagsimula na po siya agad sa predicate. Okay? So, kailangan tatandaan nyo na subject first before ang predicate. No, meron po tayong 132 viewers as of now. So, I hope mag-comment kayo kasabay ng pag-answer nito. Okay? Ayan. Tignan natin si number 4. Bakit po, sir, mali si number 4? Si number 4 naman po ay nagkaroon siya ng tinatawag nating redundancy. Ayan, no? Every individual should learn to preserve and care for the gifts of health that are precious things. Diba? So, kung titignan mo, should learn to preserve and care for the gifts of health that are precious things. Ano na din po siya, parang gifts of health that are precious things. Alam mo na yung health are precious. Tapos, yung gifts of health, adjective, yung precious things, adjective, nagkaroon na po ng crowding of adjective. Ibig sabihin, masyado nang madami yung describing words. Yun po bang nagde-describe ka pag tinatry mong explain, masyado ka nang madaming sinabi, no? So, kaya po siya nagiging redundant. Kasi pag health, we already know that it's already a gift, so hindi mo na kailangan sabihin precious pa siya. Kasi nga, gift na siya, hindi na din siya precious. So, redundant na po siya. So, hindi mo din siya isasagot. How about number 5? Ang nagkamali naman po sa number 5 is, nagkamali si subject at saka si object. Tignan mo. The gifts of health and life, ayan po yung subject natin. Of every individual should learn to preserve. Sino na po yung magle-learn at magpe-preserve? Yung individual ba o yung gifts of life? Yung subject po natin dito nag-correspond. So, hindi natin siya isasagot. Kaya ang pinakamalapit lang po talaga dyan na sagot ay si option number 1. So, I hope tama po kayo dyan. Again, guys, tagnan nyo lang always yung subject at saka yung predicate. Pag nakuha mo na si subject, alam mo na kung ano yung verb. Yung verb, di ba, yung action word o yung going, kahit ano dyan. So, pag alam mo na yung verb, malalaman mo na din yung object. Kasi yung object, siya po yung taga-receive ng action. Ibig sabihin, saan pupunta si John? Sa school. Si school po yung object. So, yun po yung lagi nyo titignan. SVO. SVO. Tandaan nyo po lagi, SVO. Sige. Mag-proceed po tayo sa question number 32. Ayan. Parang nabalik siya. Okay. Sige. Ayan. Wait lang, guys. Bakit ganito naman yan? Okay. Nagkamali po sa na-paste na question. Number 32. Okay. Sorry po. Sige. Meron po sanang nakalagay sa question number 2 na iba. Iba po siya dapat. Wait lang po I'm very sorry for the inconvenience. I hope sumasagot pa rin kayo until now. Kahit medyo nade-delay po tayo ng konti. Hindi ko po sinasadya, guys. Parang nagkamali po tayo ng na-paste sa PowerPoint. Okay. Number 32 po. Ayan. So, ang nakalagay po sa 32 ay nagay ko na lang po siya sa PowerPoint ngayon. Wait lang po talaga muna. I'm very sorry po. Sige, I will. Paano ko ba ito ma-edit? Hindi mo siya ma-edit. Wait lang. Can I stop presenting? Sorry talaga, guys. Wait lang talaga. Gagawin ko is ipipaste ko muna po sa PowerPoint. Sorry po talaga, guys. Okay. Number 32. Nako, kahit imbis na ready na kayo talaga na naguluhan pa. Okay. Sige, anyways, andito na siya. Sandali na lang po talaga. Sige. Okay, dyan na po. Sige. I-present ko na po pabalik. Yan. Okay, guys. Yan po yung question number 32. Ayan. So, yun yung mga options. Required to hurry for the program, the employee's menu came in late. No? Dahil daw required silang pumunta sa program, yung menu daw ay pumunta ng late. Okay. Ang number 2, the employees came in late for the program, but the menu is required to hurry. So, pumunta daw ng late yung mga employees, pero yung menu daw ay pinadali. Ang number 3, the program is required to hurry, but the menu for the employees came in late. The employees are required to hurry for the program, but the menu came in late. The menu came in late, but the employees are required to hurry for the program. Ngayon, isa-isahin po natin. Magsimula tayo sa option number 5. Tingnan natin, bakit hindi siya, pwede ba siyang i-answer? Tingnan natin. Wait lang po ha. Ayan. The menu came in late. Ayan. So, na-late daw yung menu. Pero, ni-require daw yung mga employees na magbilis. So, anong kinalaman po ng, kasi dapat cause and effect po yan. Dahil na-late yung menu, pinadali yung mga employees. Di ba parang hindi po siya nagme-make sense? Kasi na-late na nga yung menu, papadalihin pa yung mga employees. So, hindi na po natin yung isasagot. Ang number 1 po, tingin po tayo sa number 1. Required to hurry for the program, the employees menu came in late. Ano po yung mali dyan? Ang mali po dyan is kulang po ng ang yan po yung tinatawag nating dangling modifier. Ano po yung dangling modifier? Tignan natin yung dangling modifier, guys. Ang dangling modifier is a modifier, word, phrase, or clause that fails to modify anything in the sentence. Tignan mo. After writing, the dogs went for a walk. Yan po yung dangling kasi sino po yung nagsulat after writing? Yung dogs ba yung nagsulat? Siyempre hindi. So wala po siyang minumodify. So ano lang po yung dyan, yung correct na term. No? After writing, she o ikaw yung nagsulat, went for a walk with the dogs. Yan po yung modifier dapat. So dangling siya kasi hindi mo siya nilagyan ng modifier. So if you go back to our item, required to hurry for the program. Sino yung nag-hurry to the program? They. Dapat merong they or the employees. Kasi the employees menu came in late, di ba? Parang hindi niya na modify the employees menu. Yung isa po siyang item, no? So wala pong minu-modify. So they required to hurry for the program. Their menu came in late. Ganon. So dapat ganun po yung pagkaka-construct. So wrong po si number 1. Number 2, the employees came in late for the program, but the menu is required to hurry. Late na daw dumating yung mga employee, pero yung menu daw ay required to hurry. Pwede, hindi din siya pwede kasi na-late daw yung mga employees sa program. Tapos pinadali daw yung menu. And na-late nga sila, bakit papabilisin? Diba? So it does not make sense. Yun yung example din po ng illogical sentence. Number 3, the program is required to hurry, but the menu for the employees came in late. Pinabilis daw yung program, tapos yung menu ng mga employees ay late dumating. No? So hindi din siya natin isasagot kasi parang it does not make sense. Ang pinakamalapit lang po dyan ay the employees are required to hurry for the program, but the menu came in late. Bakit po siya tama? Kasi the employees are required to hurry for the program, isa po siyang clause. Ibig sabihin, independent siya. So kahit tanggalin mo pa yung but the menu came in late, complete po yung thought niya. The employees are required to hurry for the program. That's it. So complete po yung thought niya. Tapos yung the menu came in late, complete din po yung thought. Tapos pinag-join po sila ng conjunction. Ang conjunction po dito ay yung but. Nag-join po sila ng conjunction na but. So, dalawang independent clauses naging isa because of one conjunction. That is the correct way of writing po. So tama po si option number 4. Tama ka Mira, tama ka Alvin, tama ka Rodniel, and tama ka Ivan. Yes, 32 na po tayo, Terek. Dualio, Terek. Okay. Let's proceed to question number 33. Again ha, remember guys, pag dangling yung modifier, ibig sabihin, wala siyang minomodify. Pag sinabi mo, after writing, the dogs went for a walk. Hala, sino yung nagsulat? Yung dogs? Hindi. So, she went out with the dogs. Pwede yun. So, kailangan po na hindi dangling. So, pag gumagamit po kayo ng phrase muna bago yung subject, kailangan po, meron siyang minomodify. Okay? So, again, balik po tayo dun sa form natin na SVO, subject first before verb, and then object. Let's proceed to question number 33. Okay. The statements are, the victim was fond of athletics as other boys are. The victims was fond of athletics like other boys are. If you notice, 1 and 2, pareha lang sila. The victim was fond of athletics, the victim was fond of athletics. Pero ang pagkakaiba nila is as and like. Diyan sila nagkaiba. So number 3, like other boys are, the victim was fond of athletics. Ito na naman po yung another example ng pinagbaliktad yung subject at saka yung object. Nauna po yung object bago yung subject. So wrong po si number 3. How about number 4? The victim was fond of athletics, just like the other boys are. So ang kaibahan lang po is nagkaroon siya ng just like. Ayan. The victim was fond of athletics, similar to other boys are. Pwede din naman siya kasi similar to other boys. Pero kung wala yung are, okay lang yun. Similar to other boys. Because tulad ng other boys, like other boys, pwede yon. Pero meron kasing are. Ibig sabihin, minomodify mo na yung boys, kasi sinasabi mo pa katulad ng boys. Sobra na po yung modifier niya. And therefore, hindi na po siya tama. So, hindi po tama si number 5. Ang pagpipiliin lang po talaga natin dyan ay si number 1 at saka si number 2. Asan po yung pinaka-accurate dyan? Kung as ba ang gagamitin or like ba ang gagamitin? Pag sinabi po nating like, ginagamit mo po yun kapag you're given an example or inihahantulad mo. Pero kapag po ang tao or ang tense ng verb ay ginagamit, ang tense ng verb natin ay are, you are like, you are as beautiful as no. Mas proper po ang as, no? So, although they are both correct, ang pinaka-the best answer po dyan ay option number 1. Option number 1 po. Kasi kapag nagko-compare ka, tas ang tense ng verb ay are, eto katulad nito, ang gagamitin mo po ay as. Diba? Her hair is as black as the snow. Ayan. As po ang gagamitin when you are comparing. No? Because like, ibig sabihin, hinahantulad mo. It's not always comparison. You are saying na katulad talaga. Kasi yung compare po, ginagawa mo po siya, binabalance mo pa yung characteristics nila. Merong differences, pero may similarity. Pag sinabi po mong like, ibig sabihin katulad na talaga. So, mas specific po at mas tama po kapag ang sagot ay 1. Again, remember guys ang isasagot nyo kapag mas specific as po ang sagot. Okay? Number 1 po ang correct answer. Number 34 na tayo. Anong answer ng 30 and 31? Ang answer po natin sa 30 ay 31 po tayo nagsimula. Answer po niyan ay number 1. Okay. 32 naman po ang answer ay number 4. And then 33 po ang answer ay number 1. Okay? Number 34. Hala, ito na naman. First at the scene of the crime was Officer Reyes, followed by Officer Medina, arrived 15 minutes. Tignan mo. First at the scene of the crime was Officer Reyes, followed by Officer Medina, arrived 15 minutes. Asan yung subject? Nasa unahan ba yung subject? Hindi naman pwede na first at the scene of the crime. Kasi first at the scene of the crime, hindi naman po siya noun at saka pronoun. So dapat po, mauuna si Officer Reyes or si Officer Mendoza. So wrong na po si number 1. Again, di ba, hanapin po natin yung subject, verb, and object. So yung subject po, lagi po yung noun or pronoun. Okay. Number 2, Officer Reyes arrived at the first scene of the crime. arrive at the first scene of the crime. Meron pa bang pangalawang, second, sabi niya, dumating daw siya sa first scene of the crime. So, meron pa bang second scene of the crime? Hindi din po sinabi. So, hindi din po siya isasagot. Kasi, pag sinabi mong arrive, at the scene, first scene of the crime, ibig sabihin, you're implying na meron pang pangalawang scene of crime. So, hindi mo siya isasagot. How about 3? Officer Mendoza arrived 15 minutes later. Before, later, tapos before. Officer Reyes arrived at the scene of the crime first. O, di ba? Later, ibig sabihin, susunod pa, pero bago. Di ba? It does not make sense, guys. So, nagko-contradict po siya. Wrong din po si number 3. How about 4 and 5? Tignan natin po. Ang 4 po, ay gumamit siya ng Officer Reyes arrived at the scene of the crime first. Moreover, Officer Mendoza arrived 15 minutes later. Okay naman po sana siya. Kaso, gumamit siya ng moreover. Ginagamit mo po yung moreover kapag marami ka pang details na sasabihin. Or, nagdi-deviate ka sa details na una mong sinabi. Like, nagsabi ka ng, let's talk about apples. Moreover, let's talk about orange. Pero kapag the same pa rin yung topic, tas gumamit ka ng moreover, hindi po siya nagme-make sense. So, hindi mo din yan siya isasagot. Ano po ang pinakatamang sagot? Tama ka, Eric. Ang sagot po ay, Officer Reyes, the subject, arrived at the scene of the crime first. Nauna siyang dumating, while Officer Mendoza arrived 15 minutes later. Ang sagot po natin sa number 34 ay option number 5. Okay? Sige. Last number for the grammar. Number 35. The fire department confirmed that 2 adults and a child perished in an early morning fire. Sabi daw ng fire department na confirm niya daw na may 2 adults at isang bata na namatay in an early morning fire. No, maaga daw na maaga na fire. Number 2, 2 adults and a child perished in an early morning fire as confirmed by the fire department. 3, confirmed by the fire department. 2 adults and a child perished as confirmed by the fire department. In an early morning fire. Number 4, in an early morning fire, 2 adults and a child perished as confirmed by the fire department. And 5, the fire department confirmed in an early morning fire that 2 adults and a child perished. Let's look at number 5. The fire department confirmed in an early morning fire makes it sound like the confirmation happened in the fire, not the deaths. Ibig sabihin, confirmed in an early morning fire. Ibig sabihin, ang kinumpirma niya ay yung fire, hindi yung pagkamatay. So, ang pinofocus natin dito is yung magkamatay. So, wrong po si number 5. How about 4? In an early morning fire, 2 adults and a child perished as confirmed by the fire department. Medyo guys, asan po yung subject? Dapat 'di ba yung noun or pronoun. So in this case, early morning fire is not our subject, no? How about 3? Confirmed by the fire department. Is that 2 adults and a child. Again, asan yung subject natin? Yung confirmed by the fire department, yan po yung subject natin. Noun po ba yung confirmed by the fire department? No, hindi po natin yung isasagot. How about 2 and 1? 2 adults and a child perished in an early morning fire as confirmed by the fire department. Pwede po siya. Kasi nagsimula po siya sa subject and then followed by the proper structure of a sentence. Pwede po. Pero tignan natin si number 1. The fire department confirmed. Ito yung subject. Confirmed yung verb. The 2 adults, sila yung namatay. Sino yung nag-follow ng subject, verb, object, guys? Is it 1 or is it 2? Yes, it's actually number 1. Correct ka po. Number 1 po yung nag-follow ng subject, verb, object. Although, pwede naman po si number 2. Kaso po, nauna po yung, let's say, subject, tapos yung verb, yung object, tapos yung verb. Di ba? Kasi last yung confirmed. Di ba? So, SOV, na iba na po yung structure ng lang, ay ng syntax. So, mas okay po na i-follow natin yung S, V, and O. Correct answer natin dyan? Number 1. Ayan. So, isa din po ito sa mga reason. Mas prefer po natin yung active voice kesa sa passive voice. Ano po yung different niyan? Yung sa active voice po, lagi po yung subject, verb, and object. SVO po yan, lagi. SVO. SVO. Pero po yung passive voice, nag-uuna po siya sa object. Di ba? Una dito, two adults. Sila po yung object pala. And then, action yung nauna, yung ito, action. And then, subject na. Nahuli na yung subject, yung fire department. So, ang pinakasagot lang po natin dyan ay number 1. Wow! Tama ka. Parang sumakses ka. Char lang. Oo. Tama ka. Tama ka, ano no? Tama ka, Geraldine. Okay? Sige, tapos na po tayo doon sa 5 items ng grammar. Pero sana po, tandaan niyo po lagi, kapag nagko-correct kayo ng subject na ay ng sentences, SVO, subject, verb, object. Kapag po nagkabaliktad yan, mali na po agad. Yun lang po yung tatandaan nyo ha. Subject, verb, object. Pag nagkabaliktad, wrong na po yan. Pag may dangling modifier, ibig sabihin walang pronoun na nagsunod, mali din po yan. Kapag nagkabaliktad or kapag nauna yung object bago yung verb, mali din po yan. So, lagi lang pong tatandaan, SVO. Char. Sige. Number 36 na po tayo. Okay? To blank his pursuers, he pretended to blank as he walks with a broken leg. Ayan. So, is it skip, escape? So, ito po yung ano natin. Yung una is para sa unang blank. So, ito yung number 1. At yung pangalawa is para sa blank number 2. Skips, escape, 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 sketch, escape, escape, skip, sketch. Pag sinabi po natin skip, ito yung parang nagpa-pass by ka ng isang step. So, tumatalon ka ng isang step o kaya naglalakad ka, skipping one step. So, parang lumalagpas ka or ang tawag dyan? Nagalabay lang ka. Char. Yung bang hindi mo siya ano bang Tagalog ng skip? Ano Tagalog ng skip, Sir Alvin Jan? Skip. Tagalog ng skip. O, di ba? Mahirap mo. Basta guys, nilalagpasan niya. Ganon. Ayan. Yun yung skip. Pag sinabi naman natin skip, tumakas ka. Oo. Ganon din yung sa escape. Skip, nagkabaliktad lang. Pero yung sketch naman is yung parang nagdo-drawing ka ng tao. Ayan, mag-drawing ka kunwari ng emoji. Ayan. Sketch. Sketch na yan. Nakakatakot yung emoji ko naman. Ang pangit. Oo. Ang escape, parehas na tumakas. Skip and sketch, yung nilagpasan mo, kaya nag-sketch ka. Oo. Sige. Ano yung pinakatama? Let's try skip. To skip his pursuers, pwede ba yon? Skip. Ang pursuers kasi guys, yung mga sumusunod sa'yo, para daw malagpasan mo yung mga reviewers, ganon? Pwede pwede mo bang lagpasan? Sinusundan ka nga. Di ba? Hindi. Siyempre, alam mo ang sagot dyan is escape. Dapat yung una. Escape meaning para matakasan mo yung mga sumusunod sa'yo, nag-pretend daw siya na ano. Ayan. So, guys, hindi ka naman po pwedeng mag-sketch while naglalakad ka with a broken leg. Hindi ka rin po pwedeng tumakas ulit while naglalakad ka with a broken leg. Kasi nagpapanggap kang tumakas. Pwede ba yun? Nagpapanggap kang tumakas? Yes. The only thing that makes sense, guys, is tumakas ka, tapos nagpanggap kang parang pilay, ganon. As nagpapanggap siyang nag-walk ng broken leg. So, nag-skip siya ng step. Hindi siya sunod-sunod. Lumalagpas siya ng isang step. So, ang sagot lang natin dyan, guys, ay number 2. Ayan, correct. Escape and to escape. Tama po si Joji. Tama din si Alvin. Oo. Rivi, tama. Palaktaw po yung skip. Oo, laktaw. Oo, tama ka. Oh my gosh. Sorry na po. Hindi po talaga kami Filipino speakers o kaya Tagalog speakers. Mga Bisaya at mga Bisdak po kami dito. Char lang. Sige. Number 37 na tayo. Okay? Ayan. The blank phenomenon was expected to elicit blank reaction among the viewers. Is it strange? Strange, stream? Strange, stream. Streams is strange. Ayan. Ano ba yung difference ng strange at saka strange? Okay. Ang strange po guys, ito po yung unusual, or surprising. Ibig sabihin, nakakapanibago at saka hindi normal. Pag sinabi naman natin strange with the letter E sa simula, ito pa naman yung to cause someone to be no longer close. Ibig sabihin, lumayo ka na. He is my estranged cousin. Ibig sabihin, hindi na kami close, malayo na kami, nagka-falling out kami. Kaya estranged. Yun yung estranged. Pag strange, nakakapanibago. Pag estranged, magkalayo na kayo. Parang yung ex mo. Magkalayo na kayo. Char! Oo. Yan. Ngayon, ano yung sasagot natin? Pinalayo ba? Okay. Is it strange? Of course, alam natin yung strange, nakakapanibago, unusual. So, strange po yan dito. Pero ano yung partner ng strange? Is it stream? Pag sinabi po nating stream, ito po yung daloy or flow. Parang flow. Flow. To elicit flow reaction among the viewers, it does not make sense. So, wrong na po yan, wrong na po yan, wrong na po yan. How about strange and estrange? Pwede. Kasi no, strange tapos parang malayo or parang detached na reaction from the viewers. Yan po ang ating sagot. Number 4. Ibig sabihin detached. Hindi sila makaka-relate. Kasi nga, unusual, nakakapanibago. Pag strange na, hindi ka na nakaka-relate. Ang sagot po natin dyan ay number 4. Ayan. Correct. Ay, sadly, wala pong nakatama. Ayan po. Again, titignan po natin yung difference between the two. Strange po kasi nakakapanibago. Pag nakakapanibago, makaka-relate ka ba? Hindi, kasi hindi na kayo close. Nag-break na kayo. Char. Oo. Ang sagot po natin dyan ay number 4, strange is strange. Let's proceed to number 38. Oh my gosh, guys. Ang bilis natin, no? 38 na agad tayo. The blank families could hardly find their blank personal belongings. Displaced, misplaced, misplaced, displaced, displaced, displayed, displeased, displaced, displaced, displaced. Ayan. Guys, ano ba yung displeased? Yung displeased, ibig sabihin hindi mo nagustuhan. Pag misplaced, naiwala mo. Displayed, inilagay mo para makita ng karamihan. Pero ano ba yung difference, sir, ng displaced at saka misplaced? Oh, meron akong picture para madali niyo maintindihan. Ang misplaced po, naiwala mo lang or parang hindi mo na ma-remember kung saan mo na ilagay. Ang displaced po, parang nasiraan, nabagyuhan, tapos nawalan ng tahanan. Yun po yung displaced, no? So, yung families daw, the misplaced families, ibig sabihin, nawala yung families? Hindi. Di ba? Nawalan sila ng tahanan. So, displaced yung sagot natin dyan. Ano? Hindi nila mahanap yung mga nawalang gamit. So, that is misplaced. Okay? So, anong sagot natin dyan? Pinakauna, of course, that is number 1. Check po si number 1. Wrong po si 2, 3, 4, and 5. Okay, guys. Remember ha, pag misplaced, naiwala mo lang. Kapag displaced, nawala na talaga. No? Ibig sabihin, malala na siya at hindi na siya mahanap na, no? Hindi location yung nawala, kundi yung buong lugar. Yon, parang ganon. Yan. Sige. Para ma-remember nyo, misplaced, nawala lang. Yung displaced, nawala na talaga. Ayan, no? So, misplaced, pwede mo pang mahanap. Displaced, hindi nyo siya mahanap. Yan yon. Ay, tama sila. Ang galing ni Geraldine. Ang galing din ni Daryl. Yung jowa displaced, pagbalik mo na misplaced, sumama na sa iba. Correct. Oo. Yung jowa na displaced. Tapos pagbalik, na misplaced na. Ay nako, ewan ko sa'yo, Charlene. Sige. Let's proceed to number 39. We now have 177 viewers as of 7:10 p.m. We have, I think, 35 left to discuss. 35 items left to discuss. Nakaka-relate si Renz kay Charlene kasi nag-reply siya ng aray. Okay. I plan to buy a writing pad in a blank store as soon as the blank is, is it stationary, station, stationary, stationary. Hala, sir, ano ba yung ibig sabihin ng stationary, sir? Bakit ang pagkakaiba nila, guys, if you notice, letter E, at saka letter A, no? Stationary and stationary. Ayan. Ano ba yung pagkakaiba ng dalawa? O sige, meron na naman akong, ay, wala pala. Okay. Yung stationary, guys, with the letter E, pag stationary na may letter E, guys, ibig sabihin po niyan ay school supplies. Yes, oo. Yung mga ball pens, yung mga writing pad. Again, pag letter E, school supplies yan. No? Pag letter E, school supplies. Pag letter A naman po, pag letter A, ibig sabihin, hindi gumagalaw. Yan, stationary. Hindi ka gumagalaw, dun ka nilang iniwan, hindi ka na nakagalaw. Char! Oo. Ibig sabihin, stationary, hindi gumagalaw. Pag letter A, hindi gumagalaw. Nandyan lang siya, nakatayo. Iniwan, forever frozen, not moving, at hindi na nakamove on. Pag stationary with the letter E, pag letter E, again, school supplies po siya. So, I plan to buy a writing pad. So, saan ka bibili ng writing pad? Siyempre, doon sa store na nagtitinda ng stationary with the letter E. Ayan. Tapos, yung bus naman daw ay hindi gumagalaw. As soon as the bus, hindi na daw gumagalaw. That is stationary. Ayan. So, ang sagot po natin dyan ay number 3, stationary and stationary. Okay? There is a very subtle difference but is very, very noticeable, right? Let's proceed to number 40. Hala. Oo. Ang galing-galing. Tama sila Joshua. Tama si Ivan. Gusto ko sila, no? Kasi very constant yung pagko-comment, no? Ganyan talaga para ma-practice. Pag alam mong tama, then that's good. Pag mali din, at least you will learn something, no? The worst thing that could happen when you're wrong about something is that you will learn something from it. Diba? Sige. Let's proceed to number 40. The last number for this category. Okay? As the bride enters, their applause blank to their gladness over the long overdue wedding, but their negative facial expression blank that they do not approve of the groom. Sige. So we have our options in first, reverse, enters. Alam mo guys, na kapag ni-repeat yung answer, hindi yan pwede kasi magkaiba si infer at saka si refer. So hindi mo na yun isasagot si 1 at hindi mo din isasagot si 3 kasi parehas silang refer, infer. Magkaiba sila ng meaning. So hindi pwedeng parehas gamitin. Pag enter naman, pumasok. As the bride enters, their applause enters. Nag-redundant na. So, hindi mo rin niya isasagot. Ano yung sasagot mo? In first, reverse, in first. Yan. Pag sinabi natin reverse, guys, ibig sabihin, tinutukoy. No? Ibig sabihin, their applause refers to their gladness. Ibig sabihin, tumutukoy sa kanilang kasiyahan. Pag sinabi natin in first, guys, may ibig sabihin or underlying meaning. Again, pag refers, tinutukoy. Pag infers, may ibig sabihin or meaning. Ayan. Pag infers, conclusion or ibig sabihin na meaning. Ag refers, pinatutukuyan. Okay? So, their applause here refers, no? Tumutukoy sa kanilang kasiyahan. Pero yung first expression daw nila ay, ibig sabihin daw nun ay, nag-i-infer na they do not approve the groom. Na ang ibig sabihin daw nun ay, hindi nila bet yung groom. Saan ang pinakasagot dyan, guys? Of course, that is number 4. Tama ka na naman, Jemar. Tama ka na naman, Geraldine. At Joshua, you are correct, no? So, i-continue natin yung pagiging... I-continue natin yung sa pagsagot ng tama, okay? Tama kayo dyan. So, yes. Let's proceed to number 41. Iba na naman po ang ating instruction, okay? Ala, bakit yan ang option? Hindi ko na-change, guys. Okay. Anyways, ang meaning po ng discord among, kasi ang hinahanap na po natin dito ay opposite meaning. Ayan. Opposite meaning to the underlined word. Ang underlined word po dyan ay discord. Ang discord po ay disagreement or pag-aaway ng members of the family. So, ang kabaliktaran po niyan, ang sagot po doon sa options ay harmony. Okay? So kasi pag harmony or pag merong harmony, nagkakaunawaan kayo. At pag nagkakaunawaan kayo, walang discord. Kasi ang hinahanap po natin for items 41 to 45 is to select the word that is opposite in meaning to the underlined word. So ano yung kabaliktaran ng pag-aaway? Pagkakasundo. So yun po yung sagot. Sorry po, nagkamali po ng nalagay po sa PowerPoint. Pero ang sagot po dyan ay harmony. Let's proceed to number 42. While the mayor was on vacation leave, his vice mayor presided over the council meeting and usurped the former's authority. Ha? Ano yung usurp, sir? Nung nagbakasyon daw yung mayor, yung vice mayor daw yung pumalit sa kanya. Tapos ni-usurp niya daw yung authority ng mayor. Ano ba yung check, disclose, utilize, surrender, rejected? Ang meaning po ng usurp ay to take or keep it by force without the right to do so. Ibig sabihin, kinuha mo kahit hindi sa'yo. Ayan. Ibig sabihin, mga agaw ka. Ang number 41 po yung harmony, Miss Gladys. Oo. So kapag nang-usurp ka, nang agaw ka, no? Wala kang karapatang gawin yun, pero inagaw mo pa rin. So anong karapatan ng pagkuha? No? Ibig sabihin, pagkuha, pag-agaw. Is it check? Pag-check, guys, check mo lang. No? Pag check mo ba, nung kabaliktaran ba yun ng pagkuha? Hindi naman. Pag-disclose, ibig sabihin paglabas ng information o kaya pag-reveal. Pag ni-reveal mo ba ay kabaliktaran na yun ng pagkuha? Hindi din. Utilize. Pag sinabi mong utilize, ginamit. Oo, ginamit ka lang niya, guys. Char lang. Hindi din naman yun kabaliktaran ng pagkuha pag ginamit mo. Diba? Ang hinanap natin, opposite of pagkuha. Pag-reject, ni-reject mo yung kinuha mo? Kabaliktaran ba yun? Hindi din. Ang pinaka-correct answer po natin dyan ay surrendered. Kasi nung pag kinuha mo by force, or voluntary mong binigay. Yun yung surrender. Diba? Kaya magka-opposite sila. Kabaliktaran po siya ng usurp. Again, guys, pag usurp po, ibig sabihin, kinuha mo without having the right to get it. No? Kinuha mo na sapilitan. No? Hindi ibinigay sa'yo. So ano yung kabaliktaran ng sapilitang kinuha? Voluntary mong binigay, which is surrendered. Tamang sagot po natin dyan ay number 4, surrendered. Ang galing naman. Tama na naman si Marwin. Tama si Lowell J. Tama na naman si Joshua. Grabe talaga si Joshua. Lagi ka na lang tama. Char. Okay. Let's proceed to number 43 na tayo, guys. Okay? Ang bilis talaga natin mag-discuss, no? The chief of police issued a statement to refute the bad news. Pag sinabi po nating refute, ibig sabihin, you are challenging the veracity, the truth. Yan. O kaya, para ma-combat mo yung true, challenging the argument. Challenging the argument pala. Yan. You refute, ibig sabihin, pinapasinungalingan mo. O kaya, gumanti ka. Ganon. Yun yung refute. Ibig sabihin, you are not agreeing with it. You are disagreeing. Yan. Para daw, nirefute niya daw, nagpalabas daw siya para kontrahin. Yun, kontrahin pala yung bad news. Ano yung kabaliktaran ng kontrahin, guys? Pag kinukontra mo, ano yung kabaliktaran ng kontra? Is it to prove? Patunayan mo yung kinukontra mo? Hindi naman. Repel. Pag sinabi po natin repel ay resist. Hindi ka pumayag. So, kaparehas po siya ng meaning ng ako tama din, pero pagdating sa kanya, mali ako. Correct. Hindi ka na talaga magiging tama pag siya ang kalaban mo. Char lang. Pag repel po, ibig sabihin you are resisting. Hindi ka pumapayag. So, kaparehas po siya ng meaning ng refute. So, hindi natin yan sasagot kasi ang hinahanap natin ay kabaliktaran, guys. Di ba kabaliktaran? Oo. Rebut. Ang rebut, parehas din siya ng meaning ng refute. Kasi rebut, ibig sabihin you are trying to answer. So, hindi mo rin niya sasagot. How about nullify? Pag sinabi po natin nullify, ibig sabihin, pinapawalang bisa. Pinapawalang bisa mo ba yung bad news? Yun ba yung kabaliktaran ng refute? Hindi, kasi parehas din sila ng meaning ng refute, guys. Kasi nga, ayaw mo mag-agree, kaya pinapawalang bisa mo. So, ano yung kabaliktaran? Pag kinukontra mo, ang kabaliktaran nun ay sinusuportahan mo. Correct. Number 5 ang answer. Support. Support ang opposite ng word na refute. Again, pag refute, guys, you are not agreeing, you are repelling, you are rebutting, and at the same time, you are challenging. Kinukontra mo. Ang kabaliktaran naman ng pagkontra ay supporting. Syempre, sinusuportahan mo kasi hindi mo na nga kinukontra, di ba? Ano ba yan? Ang pangit ko naman magsalita. Parang nagiging ano na ako, Tito Boy Abunda. Char. Sige, number 44 na tayo. I'm just trying to be lively, guys. Kasi parang nakakaano, di ba? Nakaka-boring mag-study talaga ng English, no? Kasi medyo technical talaga yung pagkaka-understand, no? So, comprehension talaga yung labanan. So, kailangan meron din tayong konting advertisement. Sure, advertisement. Number 44 na tayo, guys. Okay. Many intend to keep their wicked intentions. Ano daw yung opposite meaning ng wicked? Pag sinabi natin wicked, guys, ano ba yun? Is it harmful, evil, frank, malicious, or noble? Sige. Pag sinabi natin wicked, guys, ang meaning po niyan ay morally bad, disposed, or marked by mischief. Ibig sabihin, kabuang-buangon, char. Okay, yung mga prank, ayan, yung mga evil nature or mga bad na mga gawain, yan po yung wicked. Oh. Ano yung kabaliktaran ng bad na wicked? Siyempre, harmful, pareha sila ng meaning sa wicked. So, hindi mo yun isasagot. Yung evil, malamang, nakalagay dyan, morally bad. So, evil ka talaga. So, pareha din sila ng meaning. Hindi mo din yan isasagot. Hala, anong nangyari? Yan. Hindi mo din isasagot yung evil kasi parehas nga siya ng meaning ng na wicked. How about frank? Pag frank kasi medyo very honest. The point na nakakasakit din minsan. So, hindi din sasagot. Pag malicious nakalagay dyan, mischief. Malicious, ibig sabihin, may masamang intensyon. So, hindi din yan sasagot. Ang tamang sagot po dyan ay noble. Ibig sabihin ng noble ay magandang intensyon. Ayan. Noble intentions. No? Maganda, kahanga-hanga, regal, royal, maharlika yan. So, kabaliktaran ng magiging bad ay pagiging good. Or noble. Kaya ang sagot po natin dyan ay number 5. Tama ka na naman. Tama ka na naman, Joshua. Grabe ka na naman, Joshua. Si Joshua na lang palagi. Char. Opo, tama po si number 5. Let's proceed to number 45. I hope you're not irritated by my sudden rush of adrenaline. Masobrahan po ako ng matamis kanina. Char. Number 45. His success serves as an eloquent reminder of the value of hard work. Ang sinabi po, pag-ibig po sabihin mo ng eloquent, ayan po yung underlined word natin, eloquent. Ang ibig sabihin po yan ay expressing yourself ready ka talaga, clearly, very clear, at effectively, at very effective, no? So, in a way, yung eloquent, parehas po siya ng expressive, ibig sabihin mahilig kang salita, no? Kasi nga, expressing yourself. So, hindi po natin sasagot. Kasi ang hinahanap natin, again, opposite. No? Remember, opposite. Hindi ibig sabihin na yan na yung meaning or para sila ng meaning, yan agad yung sagot. Okay? Significant. Sabi dito, effective. Significant, effective, maganda, important, pwede din yan. So, meaning din siya ng eloquent. So, hindi mo din yan isasagot. How about number 5, meaning? Ano kinalaman ng eloquent at meaning, guys? Pag eloquent ka ba, wala ka ng meaning? Kasi kabaliktaran na yun natin. Hindi din sasagot. Pag suggestive, kasi nga machika ka, eloquent ka kaya suggestive ka. So, pareha sila ng meaning. So, hindi mo din isasagot. Ang isa lang po talaga, ang pinaka, no? Obvious na answer dyan, which is low. Low. Ayan. Pag eloquent, ibig sabihin important, mataas yung value. Tapos naman, yung kabaliktaran is low value. Reminder of the value of work. Ibig sabihin, mataas na value. Ang kabaliktaran po niyan ay low value. Yes, you are correct na naman. You are correct, Gladys. You are correct, Richelle. Let's proceed to number 45. Hala. Ito na, ang question na po natin dito ay, determine the most logical sequence of the sentences to form a good paragraph. Ang questions po natin sunod ay, which should be the first sentence, etc., etc. Pero i-analyze muna natin yung ating paragraph. Ayan. The government must address non-index or petty crimes which directly bother ordinary citizens. So, kailangan daw i-address ng mga ng government yung mga simple na crime pero nakakaapekto doon sa mga ordinary citizen. Number 2, the president insisted that there should be police visibility, so he expects the PNP to follow that order. Sabi niya dito, insisted. Ibig sabihin, pinilit niya. So, kasi pinilit niya, bakit niya pinilit? Kasi siguro before, sinabi na hindi yan gagawin. So, pinilit niya. So, probably, hindi siya yung first sentence. Kasi nga, pinipilit niya pa nga. So, hindi yan first sentence, guys. Hindi na agad yan number 1. Meron na kayong clue, yung word na insisted. Okay. So, when you are organizing logical sequences of the sentence, titignan nyo, guys, yung clue or context clues. Yan. So, in this case, insisted. Number 3, although, ayan, although na agad. Although na agad. Kahit na daw. Kahit na. Wala pang sinasabi, although na. Although there is a downward trend in the index crime of those offense against people and properties in the country, petty crimes, however, have increased. Number 3, the government is stepping up the campaign against petty crimes in the National Capital Region, from increasing police visibility to preparing a feedback mechanisms from the public. O yan, step up na agad nila yung campaign. Hindi pa na-establish yung problema, pero i-enhance na nila yung problema. So, hindi din yan yung sagot. Kasi, in-enhance niya na, improve niya na agad. Wala pa nga na-establish yung problema eh. Concerned by the reported rise in petty crimes in Metro Manila, President Marcos has ordered the PNP to deploy more concerned personnel to keep the streets safe. So ano guys, yung first sentence natin. Ayan. Sige nga, tama ba kayo dyan? Malalaman natin yan, okay? Sige. Sige, magsagot nga kayo. Sige, tignan natin. Which should be the first sentence? Balik tayo dito. Ayan. Although, kahit nakalagay dyan sa number 3 is although there is a downward. Ayan. Pwede kasi yan guys, na yun yung maging simula. Kahit na bumaba yung index crime or yung trend ng index crime against people, tumaas naman yung petty crimes, yung mga maling crime. Kasi dito, in-establish niya yung problema. Siya yung thesis statement, kumbaga. Siya yung nag-establish ng problema. So, ang sagot po natin, si number 3 po yung pinakauna. Oo. Kaya, kasi siya yung unang nag-establish ng problema eh. Sabi doon sa number 1, the government must address. Ibig sabihin, i-address na dapat yung problema. Hindi pa nasabi yung problema. Number 2, insist. Hindi pa nasabi yung problema. Number 3, mag-step up na, hindi pa nasabi yung problema. Number 5, hindi pa nasabi yung problema. Ang unang nagsabi ng problema, guys, is si number 3. So, tignan nyo dyan. Yung unang nagsabi ng problema, siya po yung unang sentence. Okay? So, ang sagot po natin sa number 46 ay sentence number 3. I'm very sorry, guys. Wrong po kayo. Opo, sentence number 3 po. How about number 47? Which sentence should be the fourth sentence? Ayan. So, hanapin muna natin yung pangkalawa. Although there is a downward trend in the index crime of those offenses against persons and properties in the country, petty crimes, however, have increased. Ayan. So, pagkatapos niyan, the government. Ayan yung sunod. The government must address. Ito. So, let's say, 1, 2, sunod. 3, yung the government is stepping up and improve na nila. And then, 4, the president. And syempre, last yung 5. Tignan natin kung tama ba yan. No? Malalaman natin. Okay? Let's look at 3 ang sunod. How about the fourth sentence? So, in our order here, ang fourth sentence is number 5. Tama ba? Hindi guys. Bakit? Ito po yung fourth sentence. Why? Ang order po talaga niyan ay, let's see. Wait lang ha. Wait lang talaga guys. Kasi nahihirapan talaga ako mag-configure. Kasi I'm also using an iPad. Ayan. Ano ba yan? Yan, there it is. Clear pen markings. Nauna si, alam na natin nauna si 3. So, number 1 yun siya. Ano yung sunod? Oh. See? Number 2. Yan. Kasi have increased. The president insisted. Yung pangatlo, guys. Third sentence. Si number 4. Yung pang-apat, guys. Si number 3. Wait lang ha. Wait lang talaga. Okay? Ayan pala. Yung fourth sentence natin, guys, ay si 1. Then si last sentence natin is si 5. O, tignan natin. Tignan natin kung make sense ba siya. Okay? Although there is a downward trend in the index crime for those offenses against persons and properties, petty crimes, however, have increased. The president insisted there should be police visibility to inspect, and etc., etc. The government is stepping up the campaign. The government must address, and then 5, concerned, but parang hindi siya nagme-make sense. O, di ba? Sige. So, anong sagot natin dyan, guys? Una natin si number 3. So, tama yan. Anong sunod? Number 1. So, ang sagot natin dyan, ito. Wait, I will clear the pen markings. So, 3, 1. Sunod natin. The government must address. Kasi, na-establish na yung problema ng petty crimes. Ayan, no? Tapos, dito, i-address na dapat yung petty crimes. Tapos, anong sunod na ginawa? The government is stepping up. Ayan na. So, 3. Sunod is 4. And then sunod, last na, the president insisted 5. Okay? So, yun yung order natin. Okay? So, kung babalik tayo dito, ano yung first sentence? 3. Ano yung fourth sentence? Balik tayo dito. That is 5. Okay? Answer, 5. Sunod. What is the last sentence? Ang last sentence natin dito, guys, is number 2. Or sentence number 2. Siyempre, ang second sentence naman natin ay number 1. And then lastly, number 4. Ayan po ang tamang order. 3, 5, 2, 1, 4. Hala, mali na naman kayo, guys. Oo. Sige. Kailangan, guys, para malaman niyo yung first, second, and third, kailangan, hindi pwedeng yung susunod na sentence, may sinabi siyang hindi sinabi ng first sentence. Ganun yung always gagawin nyo. Kailangan, meron siyang connection sa isa't isa. Pag hindi pa nasabi yung problema, hindi niya pwedeng sabihin yung problema. No? So, kung hindi pa na ito na-establish na, let's say, sa 1, nag-establish ka na may blue. Pag hindi pa na-establish sa blue, to sinabi na ng 2 na may blue at saka yellow, ibig sabihin, hindi una yung blue at saka yellow. Diba? Gets nyo? I hope na gets nyo yan. Basta, kailangan gradual yung pag-add ng information. Una yung problema, sunod yung pag-address, sunod na naman, at saka pinaka-last, yung mga hindi importanteng details. So, kailangan nyo lang talagang gawin. Ano yung pinaka-importante? Yung problema. Tapos, pinaka-last, yung pinaka-hindi importante. Ay, plot twist daw. Number 51. Ito na naman, guys. Oh, another set. 46 to 55. Lah, kaya nyo yan. So, yung una, loss of recent memory is the usual initial symptom. Yun daw yung pinakaunang symptom. Symptom ng ano? So, alam mo hindi siya una. Kasi may sinabi na siyang symptom. So, hindi alam. At first, memory loss is not consistent because the person forgets something one day but remembers same thing next day. So, sisimula daw, ang memory loss daw ay hindi consistent. Kasi, makakalimutan mo daw sa ngayon, mareremember mo bukas. Hala, confused na talaga silang lahat. The person with AD, ano naman yung AD, ends up bedridden and totally dependent on others for his or her physical needs. So alam mo na, may sinabi siyang AD, pero meron na bang sinabing AD? May nasabi na bang AD? Wala pa. So alam mo na, hindi yan yung una. Ano yung sunod? Alzheimer's disease, AD, ayan, na-establish na sa guys. So alam mo na magkasunod si 4 at saka si 3. It's a progressive and irreversible disease that slowly destroys memory and thinking skills. Ayan. So, ang una natin is si number 4. Ayan yung number 1 natin. Sunod, number 2. Sunod, ano nang mangyari? Alzheimer's disease is a progressive. Nagsimula siya kasi nag-establish siya ng problema. Again ha, problema. Sunod, the person with AD ends up bedridden. And then pagkatapos, physical needs. As the disease progresses, the ability to learn new things is lost. Yan. Yan na. So nawala na yung things. Pagkatapos nung nawala, loss of memory is the usual initial symptom. Ayan na agad, di ba? So yun na. And then, at first, memory loss is not consistent because yan, magkasunod si 1 at saka si 2. Okay. Sige. So, anong sagot? 4125. Pag sinabi mong 4, mauna, Alzheimer's is progressive and irreversible, again. Alzheimer's disease is a progressive and irreversible disease that slowly destroys memory and thinking skills. Loss of recent memory is the usual initial symptom. Pwede, no? Sige, yan yung ating isunod. So, una si number 4. 1 yan. 1. Sunod si 2. Kasi yun yung pinakaunang symptom daw. Sunod si 2. And then sunod, 4. And then finally, 5. Ayan yung order natin, guys. 2, 3, 4, 1, 5. 2, 3, 4, 1, 5. Kasi una, na-establish mo yung problema. Sunod, yung unang symptom. Yung initial symptom. Then sunod, kasi yung kasumpay ng memory loss, ito na yon yung sunod. Then after nyan, lumala na yung disease. Then pinaka-last, pag nag-progress pa talaga, hindi na talaga siya makaka-learn. So ang pinaka-sagot natin dyan, ano yung first sentence? That is number 4. Correct. Sunod, na second sentence, that is number 1. Correct. Sunod, number 2. Correct. Hala, ang galing nyo guys. Tama kayo dyan. Sunod. Fourth sentence is number 3 and last is number 5. Oo. Yes. So that is our answer. 4, 1, 2, 4, 1, 2, 3, 5. 4, 1, 2. Tama ka na naman, Joshua. Ang galing mo talaga. Oo. Hala, we are finished with number 55. That means we only have 20 items left to discuss. Okay? Number 56 to 60. Oh my gosh, guys. Ang bilis-bilis natin. Mamimiss ko kayo agad. Check. Plastic. Sige. Let's proceed. For items 56 to 60, directions. In each of the following sentences below, there are 4 underlined words or phrases marked 1, 2, 3, 4. Choose the number corresponding to the underlined word or phrase which you think has an error in grammar, usage, punctuation, spelling, capitalization. Choose 5 if you think there is no error in any of the underlined parts. Ayan. So hanapin nyo dito yung mali, guys. Hanapin nyo dito yung mali. Okay? Sige. The assumption that the value of experience is proportionate. The assumption that the value of experience is proportionate to its duration is a fallacy. Sabi niya, yung assumption daw na yung value ng experience ay katumbas ng duration ay fallacy daw. Ano yung fallacy, guys? Ang fallacy, guys, ang meaning po niyan ay misconception. Ibig sabihin, maling paniniwala. Sabi niya, maling paniniwala daw na katumbas ng value of experience yung tagal, no? Sige. Asan dyan yung mali? The assumption that the value of experience is proportionate to its duration is a fallacy. That, mali ba yung that? Mali ba yung that? Sir? Okay. Mali ba yung that? That. Oh, the assumption that. Ayan, pinupertain niyo yung assumption. Tama yan. Walang mali. Proportionate. Pag sinabi natin proportionate, katumbas. Tama din po yan kasi hindi daw magkatumbas. It's the value of experience to its duration. Ibig sabihin, ang katagalan. Tama po yan kasi it's ang pronoun ng mga bagay. Tama din po yan. Fallacy, misconception, tama din po yan. Wala po actually mali sa sentence na ito. Ang answer po natin dyan ay no error. It's po, yung it's po na walang apostrophe, yan po ay isang pronoun. Ang minomodify po ng pronoun na ito ay duration. Okay? So, tama po ang it's, no? So, ang minomodify niya ay ang duration, which is a pronoun properly used for things, objects, and other, yeah, that's it. So, tama po, no error po tayo dito. Number 57. Oh my gosh, guys, ang bilis natin. Taxes for cigarettes have been risen by the government to improve collection for social services project, no error. Cigarettes, risen, improve, social services, no error. Ano sagot? Sige nga, inantay ko ang sagot nyo. 5 ang sagot ni Charlene. 57.2 daw ang answer, risen. Sige, tignan natin. Okay. Ngayon guys, yung risen kasi, partner talaga yun siya ng have. Kasi yun yung perfect form. Yun bang, have risen. Yan po. Ayan. I have risen. O, tama po sana yan. So yung cigarettes, tama naman po yan. Wala naman pong mali. Social services, wala pong mali kasi mga noun naman yan sila. Yung improve, wala din pong mali dyan. Yung risen po kasi, tama sana siya kung may have risen. Pero ang nakalagay kasi dyan, have been. Nilagyan niya po ng been sa gitna. Kaya po siya naging mali, no? In perfect form po, magkasunod po lagi si verb na may en at saka si have, no? Have tapos verb na may en. Ang sagot po natin dyan ay number 2. You are correct. Sino yung correct kanina? Yung pinakauna. Si Ron. Tama ka, Ron. Nagkamali na si Joshua. Hindi 4. Kasi social services, it is a proper noun. Pag proper noun, guys, dapat po ay capital letter. Oo. Proper noun po yung social services. Ano ba yung mga proper noun, guys? Proper noun po, yung mga specific ang pangalan. For example, Kirsten. Pag Kirsten po, kailangan po nakakapital yan kasi proper noun siya. So yung social services, proper noun po din yan kasi specific yung pangalan. So capital po talaga siya. So tama po si social services. Ang mali lang po dyan ay si risen. Again, kapag po yung verb nag-i-end with en, no? Risen, chosen, ang kapartner po niyan have. Pero hindi pwedeng have been chosen. Ganon. Ayan. Pwede naman yung have been chosen, pero dapat hindi by yung sunod. Ayan. So marami siyang rules, no? Ganon. Sige, number 58 na tayo, guys. Oh my gosh, we only have how many? 17, I think. 17 questions left to discuss, okay? One morning, I went to the stationery store to buy some pens. No error. Sige nga. One morning, parang nagnanarrate siya. Tapos may comma naman, so correct yan. Wala pong mali dyan. I went. Ibig sabihin kasi sabi niya, one morning, nagnanarrate na siya, so tapos na nangyari. So past tense ito. Tama din siya. Oh. How about stationary? Mali ba yan? Oh. Pag stationary, guys, di ba, hindi gumagalaw? Oh. Pumunta daw siya sa hindi gumagalaw na store? Hindi naman. Ang tama pong spelling kasi daw niyan ay hindi stationary with an A, kundi stationary with an E. Di ba na-discuss natin kanina? Pag stationary, ibig sabihin nun ay school supplies. Bumili nga daw siya ng ballpen doon sa stationery stores. Kaya mali po si number 3. Kasi nga, dapat letter E yung letter A. O, diba? Hala, sino naka-remember? Tama si... Hala, wrong. Gladys, tama yung went. Gladys. Patrick, tama ka. Congrats. Oo. Rivi, tama ka. Congrats. Oh my gosh. Patrick, oo, tama. E dapat, no? Yung spelling. Correct. Stationary. Stationary and stationary. Ayan. Sige. Let us proceed to number 59. Ayan po. The difference between stationary and stationary. Pag stationary, stop. Hindi gumagalaw. Stationary, school supplies. Let's proceed. The joy of life, together with travel and jewelry, is accessible only to those who can afford. Oo. Sige. Anong mali dito? Ay, kinumpare niya daw sa buy yung went. Ayan. Okay, sige guys. Meron din tayong rationale dyan. Bakit went tapos buy? Kasi meron po tayong rule sa grammar na kailangan isa lang yung lalagyan mo ng plural, ng past tense. So, hindi pwedeng where did you bought? Dapat, where did you buy? Kasi naglagay ka na ng plural sa did, ay ng past tense sa did, hindi mo na pwedeng i-plural yung buy. So, kasi nag-plural ay nag-past tense na tayo dito sa when, kailangan yung buy, present tense na. Ganon. Remember ha, hindi po pwedeng dalawang past tense sa isang sentence or sa isang clause. Kunwari, where did you buy? Hindi where did you bought. Where did you go? Hindi where did you went. Diba? Pag did, past tense na yun. Tapos pag went, past tense ulit. Diba? So double past tense na siya. So mali po yun sa grammar. Kailangan po, isa lang po yung past tense na ilalagay mo. So in this case, yung past tense po ay nailagay sa went. So yung by, present tense na. Sige, I hope na gets mo yan, Miss Gladys. Okay? Let's proceed to number 59. The joy of life, together with travel and jewelry, is accessible only to those who can afford. Walang mali. Ano ba yung, ano niyan? Ay yung sagot. Sige nga, anong sagot nyo? Is it joy? The joy of life, ayan po ay modifier. So, tama yan. Together with. Tama din yan. Kasi sinasabi niyang kasama ng pag-travel at jewelry. Ayan. Accessible is accessible. Tama din yan. How about afford? Tama ba yan, guys? Bakit siya mali? Kasi ito na naman yung case ng dangling modifier. Ano yung dangling modifier? Yung wala siyang minomodify. Only to those who can afford. Afford what? Afford, kulang siya ng pronoun na it. No? Only to those who can afford it. Dapat yon, kulang siya ng it. So, wrong po si number 4 na afford. So, kailangan niya po ng it. Di ba sabi ko kanina yung dangling modifier, meron siyang modifier pero wala siyang minomodify. Sino yung ma-afford? Ano yung ma-afford? Those who can afford what? Ano yun? Di ba? So, ang sagot natin dyan ay it. No? Bakit may sumagot ng tumalon? Ayan. Sige. Number 16 na tayo, guys. Number 16 na tayo. Oh my gosh, ang bilis-bilis talaga ng atin. Sir, ilang items mo ba ito? Number, ano lang po, 75 lang po tayo. 75 items lang po talaga tayo. Oo. Hindi relate sa question. Okay naman. Sige, anyways. Number 60. This reaction has a negative effect on my studies. Hala. This reaction has a negative effect. Asan yung mali? This reaction, tama po yung this reaction, wala pong mali. Yan po yung subject. Negative, has a negative, tama din po yan. Hindi naman po mali yung spelling, tama naman po yung paggamit ng word. Studies, tama din po. How about affect? Tama po ba yung affect? Hindi. Kasi dapat po, effect. Oo. Has a negative effect as in result. Pag sinabi po kasi nating affect, ang meaning po niyan ay yung make a difference, no? So, ang tamang sagot po dyan ay effect. Ayan. Oo. Sige. So, kailangan niyo po ma-differentiate yung affect and effect. So, pag ginagamit mo po siyang verb, affect po yung gagamitin mo. Pero pag as a result or adjective po, effect po yung gagamitin mo. Kunwari, you affect me. Ayan, affect po yan. Pero pag this has a negative effect, ang verb po niyan has a negative effect. Yun na yung verb. So, yung effect po dito ay adjective dapat, no? So, yung adjective po ay yung letter E, hindi yung letter A. Yung affect po, verb po yan siya. Okay? Sige. Kaya nga, your anger affects me. Yan. So, verb po yung affect. So, dito, hindi naman pwedeng the reaction has a negative effect. Kasi, result na siya. Diba? So, dapat adjective na. So, effect po yung answer. Sa exam, sir, pila ka item nga ni mo gawas? Daghan ba? Yes, daghan gyud daw ang verbal reasoning. Sir, no? Sir Alvin John, no? Daghan ang verbal reasoning. Pero depende din daw yung sa trend ng exam. Minsan madami ang ibang components. Okay, let's proceed to number 61. Ayun po yung difference ng affect and effect. Ayan. Again, affect is used as a verb. Effect is used as a noun, sometimes as an adjective. Ayan po yun. Number 61 na tayo, guys. Malapit na po tayo matapos, so relax kayo dyan. Ang hinahanap naman po natin sa 61 to 65 is to choose the word that has the closest meaning of the underlined words. Ayan. So, ang hinahanap po natin, ang answer, you affect my heart. Oo, tama ka ron. Tama ka sa paggamit mo ng affect. So, bahala ka dyan. Kahit mali ang spelling ng heart mo, sige na lang. Oo. Sige. Ano ba yung underlined word natin dito? The dexterity demonstrated by the basketball players is admirable. Manual skill, speed, agility, inaptness, clumsiness. Ayan. Ano daw po yung, closest meaning ng dexterity. Pag sinabi po nating dexterity, guys, ito po ay skill in performing tasks. Ayan. Ito yung kakayahan, yung skill. So, hindi po siya clumsiness. Kasi pag clumsy ka, wala kang skill. No? Kasi nga, masyado kang walang ginagawa or hindi ka marunong. Wala kang ginagawa. Ineptness naman, pag sinabi natin ineptness po, ayan po ang yung incompetent ka. Hindi ka marunong. So, hindi din po yan dexterity. So, ang agility naman po, pag sinabi nating agility, ito yung kakayahan mong magbilisang pag-change ng direction. Yung bang mabilis ka, agile ka, yung speed mo ay mabilis. Hindi naman po always pag may dexterity ka, ay mabilis ka agad, no? So, hindi din yan yung sagot. Parehas lang din po yung speed at agility. Ang pinakamalapit lang po natin na sagot dyan ay number 1, manual skill. Oh my gosh, manual skill yan, guys. Again, pag dexterity skill. Tama ka, Justin. Tama ka, Lowell. Tama ka, Mauro. Oh my gosh, I'm so proud of you guys. Ang galing-galing nyo. Let us proceed to number 62. Trapped behind iron bars, prisoners often connive to design a careful escape attempt. The underlying word is connive. Hala. Is it conspire, plot, plan, agree, decide? Pwede naman, hindi na nasagot yung agree at saka decide, guys. Pwede yung plot at saka yung plan at saka conspire. Kasi nga, nagpaplano sila para para mag-escape. Pero guys, ano ba yung meaning ng connive? Pag sinabi natin connive, guys, ito yung secret planning. Ayan. Kaya although tama yung plan, pero secret kasi. Yung hindi naman always secret yung plan. Ang pinakamalapit lang po dyan na sagot ay conspire. Kasi pag nagko-conspire ka, you are doing it in secret, no? You are making secret plans. Yan po talaga yung literal na meaning ng conspire. Secret plans. Kaya although pwede yung plan, pero hindi naman siya secret always. So ang isasagot mo lang guys ay conspire. Again, pag connive, conspire. Connive, conspire. Yes. Tama ka, Ron. Tama ka din, Akira. Let's proceed to number 63. Dictators are obnoxious leaders. Hala, yung mga diktador daw ay obnoxious leaders. What do we mean when we say obnoxious? Is it despicable, generous, and offensive, caring, or cordial? Ayan. So, pag mapapansin nyo guys, kahit hindi nyo pa alam yung meaning ng obnoxious, pero sige, for the sake of this discussion, ang meaning po ng obnoxious ay very disgusting, objectionable, offensive. Ayan. Yun yung obnoxious, offensive, objectionable, odious, unpleasant, hindi ka gusto-gusto, undesirable. Ayan yung obnoxious. Ayan. Kahit hindi mo pa alam yung meaning yung answer talaga. Kung mapapansin mo, yung obnoxious dyan ay ma-associate mo dun sa dictator. Ano ba yung dictator? Gusto mo ba yung mga dictator? Siyempre hindi. So alam mo na yung obnoxious ay negative. Tignan mo yung options. Cordial. Ibig sabihin, ang cordial yun bang mapagbigay ka or hindi ka nakikipag-confront, palagi ka nang gumugo sa flow, mabait ka. So, gusto mo, yung dictator ba mabait? Siyempre hindi. So, hindi mo yung sasagot. Yung dictator ba caring? Siyempre hindi. Inoffensive, hindi ka nakaka-offend. Siyempre nakaka-offend nga yung obnoxious, hindi din yan sagot. Generous, mapagbigay, hindi din yan sagot. So kahit hindi mo pa alam yung meaning ng despicable, ang answer po dyan ay despicable. Kasi ang meaning ng obnoxious ay extremely unpleasant and disagreeable. Katulad ng despicable na ang meaning ay deserving hatred or contempt. Kaya nga 'di ba, yung movie na Despicable Me, ano siya, evil villain siya doon. Oo. Kasi pag despicable, gumagawa ka ng hindi ka gusto-gusto. Kaya ang answer po ay despicable. Despicable. Yes. Oh my gosh, guys, we are now at number 64. Ang bilis-bilis lang po natin matapos. Bakit ba, Char? Okay. Choose the word that has the closest meaning of the word. To put up good defense against their enemies, the Spanish government built the formidable wall of Intramuros. Ayan. Para daw hindi or para daw magkaroon ng depensa laban sa kanilang mga kalaban or kaaway, ang Spanish army daw ay gumawa ng formidable. Ano ba yung meaning ng formidable? Ibig sabihin yan, guys, ay powerful. Yan. Ibig sabihin, hindi basta-bastang magigiba. Powerful wall called Intramuros. Saan dyan yung meaning or pares ng meaning? Siyempre, hindi weak. Kasi nga, hindi basta-basta magigiba. Powerful siya eh. Permanent, na pag formidable ba, permanent, hindi. Kahit pa malakas yan, pwede pa rin yan siyang mag-change. No? So, hindi yan sagot. Concrete, hindi naman lahat ng concrete ay formidable. Kasi merong concrete na pangit yung pagkakagawa, kaya madalis masira. So, hindi mo yan sasagot. Large or tough? Mamili ka sa dalawa. Ano po ang pinakamalapit na sagot? Ang sagot po natin dyan kasi depensa, hindi po malaki kundi malakas. No? Ang sagot po natin dyan ay number 2, tough. Again, tough. Formidable, tough. Pero guys, pag ang pagkakagamit ng formidable ay for the enemies not to reach their gates, they created a formidable wall. Ang sagot po dyan ay large. Ibig sabihin, ang paggamit niya dun, para daw hindi sila maabot, gumawa sila ng large. Kasi pwede ding meaning ng formidable yung large at pwede din yung powerful. So, depende siya sa paggamit sa sentence. Pag ginamit siya sa sentence na para madepensahan sila at hindi sila makadepensa sila sa enemies, kailangan nila na maging malakas. No? Pero para hindi sila maabot, pag yun yung pagkagamit, ang answer po dyan ay large. Pero pag para makadepensa, ang sagot po dyan ay tough. Yun yung sagot. Number 65, last item for this category, no? Meron pa tayong last 10 items after this one. Don't break water. The suspects, don't break water, please, tried to elude the remotest pursuing police officer. Wala. They tried to elude. Ano ba yung elude, sir? Yung mga suspect daw, tinanay doon na mag-elude. Ano ba yung elude, sir? Ang elude po ay avoid. Ayan. So, ibig sabihin, iwasan. So, isa na guys, alam nyo na agad yung sagot. Hindi resist, hindi confront, hindi attack, hindi din prevent, kundi avoid. Kasi although pwede naman yung prevent kasi iniiwasan, pero hindi pa nangyari, pipigilan mo na. Yun yung prevent, pipigilan. Pero yung avoid, iiwasan. Yun yung po yung difference. Ang sagot po ay avoid, number 4. Ang sagot ni Ron, di lahat ng malaki ay malakas. Correct. Sige. Go. Oh my gosh guys, number 66 na po talaga tayo. 66 to 70, ito naman po ay reading comprehension. So, kailangan nyo pong intindihin ng malala ang mga paragraph na ito para po ay maintindihan at masagutan ang mga following items. Okay? Guys, don't worry because one paragraph, 5 questions na siya, diba? Okay. Research by scientists has revealed that sing-song cadences of baby talk, those rhymes and rhythms and half-nonsense words that parents observe in their children could be an essential step in the progress of learning to speak. Ayan. So, dahil daw sa pag-research ng scientist, nalaman daw nila na yung sing-song cadences, yun bang mga sinasabi ng mga baby na blah, 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 wow, 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 ay yung mga hindi nila naiintindihan na naobserbahan ng mga parents at children, ay pwede daw essential step ng progress of learning to speak. So, isa daw siyang importanteng step para maka-learn sila kung paano magsalita. The research also looked at babies with good hearing. Those parents are deaf and cannot communicate to them in a verbal form. So, meron daw nakita na research na meron daw mga babies na kahit daw bingi at hindi makapagsalita yung mga parents nila, marunong pa rin or nakakarinig pa rin yung mga babies. However, these parents may start communicating with their babies using a rhythmic set of hand movements. So kahit hindi daw sila nakakapagsalita or nakakapag-usap sa mga babies, pwede daw silang gawa ng mga hand movements na way of communication nila. It was found out or nalaman daw that babies are born with an innate sensitivity to the particular kinds of rhythmic speech patterns adults use to talk to them. Nalaman daw na yung mga baby daw, meron daw silang, pagpanganak pa lang, meron na silang sensitivity sa mga speech patterns, no? Pero nagigets na agad nila yung mga speech patterns na ginagamit ng adults pag nakikipag-usap sa kanila. So sabi dito ng scientist is, kailangan daw na yung pakikipag-usap mo sa babies are, ano daw yung sagot sa number 59 at saka 60? Bakit ang layo naman, sir? Sige, mamaya na lang. Pag may time pa tayo, balikan natin. Okay? Sige. Nagigets daw nila yung yung rhythms ng speech patterns ng kanilang mga parents, no? Before they form real words, bago pa man sila makabuo ng totoong mga words, nagigets na daw nila yung meaning niyan. Kasi nga, marami tayong theory dyan sa language. Sabi, meron tayong language acquisition device ni Noam Chomsky. Ano yun? Yung LAD. Sabi daw ni Noam Chomsky, meron daw tayong innate universal grammar. Pagpanganak pa lang daw sa atin, meron na tayong ability para makapag-learn ng language. Ayun. The implication is that when parents use a specific sing-song language talking to their babies, like we say, la 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 la, ba 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 ba, they may themselves be responding to normal human development progress. So pag nakikipag-usap ka daw sa mga baby mo ng ganun, ay pwede ka na daw nagre-respond sa progress ng human. But some scientists argue that babbling has nothing to do with language, and it may simply be results from random opening and closing of the mouth and the jaw. Pero meron daw yung mga ibang scientists na naniniwala na wala daw kinalaman yung pag blah 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 ng mga bata or yung babbling sa language. Kasi ito lang daw ay random opening of the mouth, no? Yung bigla ka nang nag-open at nagko-close ng jaw. Ayan. So, based on the paragraph that nabinasa natin ngayon, sagutan natin yung mga question. What is the best title of the paragraph? Baby Talk? How Babies Learn to Talk? Sing-song cadences of baby talk? Rhymes, rhythms, and half-nonsense words? Speech development of children through babbling? Anong sagot? Guys, clue when you're looking for a title of the paragraph, nandun po yan verbatimly sinabi doon sa paragraph. Ano ibig sabihin ng verbatim? Nandun siya nakakopy word for word sa paragraph. Hanapin natin dyan yung may sinabi doon sa paragraph. May sinabi ba ditong baby talk? Ayan, merong baby talk. Pwede. May sinabi ba ditong how babies learn to talk? Wala. May sinabi ba ditong rhymes, rhythms, and half-nonsense words? Meron naman. Oo. Speech development of children through babbling, wala din naman sinabi. Pero guys, among the three, anong pinaka-best? Ang answer po dyan ay sing-song cadences of baby talk. Bakit? Kasi sa simula, sinabi niya ditong sing-song cadences. Hanggang sa huli, sinabi niya pa rin yung sing-song. Ibig sabihin, yan yung main idea ng paragraph. No? Mapapansin niyo yung main idea kasi nasusustain siya sa simula hanggang sa hulihan. Oo. Yan po yung ating clue para malaman natin yung best title. Okay? The correct answer po natin dyan ay number 3, sing-song cadences of baby talk. Number 67. The writer implies that parents who are deaf, yung bang mga, sabi daw ng writer, yung mga bingi daw na parents, ano daw? Communicate more often with their babies than hearing parents. Hindi naman sinabi doon. Prefer not to use sign language when communicating with their baby. Hindi na daw gumamit ng sign language. Eh, yun na nga lang yung way nila eh. Employ similar strategies to communicate with babies as hearing parents. Gumagamit daw sila ng kaparehas na strategy ng mga parents na nakikipag-communicate sa hearing. Use rhythmic hand movements when talking to their babies, just like with adults. Have babies who begin to babble at an earlier age than those of hearing parents. Syempre guys, very obvious. Hindi similar yung kanilang strategy kasi hindi nga sila hindi sila rinig. So, most of the time, yung mga bingi, pipi din sila, hindi din sila nakakapagsalita. So, hindi sila the same ng strategy. Ano yung sagot? Ang sagot natin dyan ay number 4. Gumagamit sila ng hand movements para nakikipag-usap sa mga baby, katulad na makikipag-usap nila sa adults. Yes, tama ka, Geraldine. Tama ka, Labaw, Regeline. Tama ka, Ron. Tama ka rin, Daryl. Number 68. The writer says that research in baby talk, anong sabi dun sa research in baby talk? A, has proven that baby talk is a response to an evolutionary impulse, proves conclusively that baby talk has nothing to do with language. O, alam na natin yun kanina na ah, there are some that argue pero hindi conclusively, no? So wrong yan. Implies that babbling is an integral part in the development of speech, suggests that babies instinctively copy the speech rhythms of the parents, is essential if we are to understand speech patterns of babies properly. Actually, guys, most of which are correct, pero ang pinaka-correct po dyan ay suggest that babies instinctively copy the speech rhythms of the parents. Tignan mo dito sa research. Revealed, ayan, communicate with them, born, innate sensitivity. Ayan, so innate. From the word innate, ano nila ka na, what do you call that? Instinctive. From the word innate, instinct na nila. So automatic na yun. Hindi na nila kailangan pag-aralan. Nandun na agad, no? Innate. Gosh, number 69 na tayo. Sing-song. Ano yung meaning ng sing-song? A formal gathering of singing, a verse marked with the regular rhythm and rhyme, involuntary musical imagery looping in baby's ears, way of speaking in which the voice continuously rises, marked by a wide range of animated pattern of pitch. Tignan natin dito. Ano daw yung sing-song? Balik tayo sa paragraph. Ang sing-song cadences, those rhymes and rhythms. Ayan, sinabi dyan. Yung mga rhymes and rhythms daw. Saan ba dyan yung may rhymes and rhythms lang, guys? Answer? Number 2. Correct. Number 2 lang po yung may rhymes and rhythms. Oh my gosh, guys. We are now at number 70. Oh, ang galing nyo. According to the author, babies are born with good hearing even if their parents were deaf ears until they reach late infancy period, with involuntary impulses as part of their survival. Wala pong sinabing involuntary impulses na survival nila. Wala pong sinabing survival doon. Huwag mo yan isasagot si number 3. Systemized response when presented with sign language. Meron na agad daw silang isasagot agad. Ang systemized, ibig sabihin organized. Organized na bagay yung mga baby? Hindi naman. So, hindi mo din yun isasagot. Innate sensitivity to the particular kinds of rhythmic speech patterns. Verbatim po dito na ayan, meron silang innate sensitivity to particular of innate speech patterns. So, verbatim po na nakalagay dyan. Kaya ang sagot po natin sa number 69 ay number 70 ay innate sensitivity to particular kinds of rhythmic patterns. Ngayon, guys, yung mga paragraph, yung mga reading comprehension, madali lang talaga siya pag naintindihan mo na. Tapos madali lang din siya kapag na-gets mo yung point ng paragraph. Huy, plus 5 items na. Grabe naman yan. Okay. Ayan. So, this is another reading comprehension test. Okay? Public confidence in the Philippine National Police and continued patronage for its service is largely influenced by the media treatment it gets. Ayan. Yung tiwala daw ng publiko sa PNP at yung tangkilik daw sa PNP ay nakadepende or iniimpluwensyahan daw ng media treatment na natatanggap nito. Kasi pag present ng media na yung mga pulis ay mga kurakot, then wala nang tiwala yung publiko. So nakadepende yung parang yung parang what do you call that? Image sa media. Thus, pag sinabi natin thus, in conclusion, or parang kaya, the public perception of the PNP is one of the most corrupt, ineffective, inefficient agencies of the government is reflective of its media relations. Yan, yung paniniwala ng mga tao na corrupt daw yung PNP, tapos pinaka ineffective at inefficient agency daw yun ay pinapakita daw yun ng media na relations nila. Statistics show that Manila has lower crime statistics compared to other cities in the United States. Pero sabi naman ng statistics na mas mababa pa daw yung crime crime rate ng Manila kaysa sa ibang United States cities. Media relations is a major component of the police community relations, yung PCR. Yun daw media relations, ang tawag dyan, yung pakikipag-ugnayan daw sa media ay isang importanteng component ng police community relations. The Public Information Officer or the PIO has a much broader task of developing a better and acceptable perception of the public on the PNP. So yung mga PIO daw ay mas malaki daw yung responsibility nila na pagandahin yung perception ng mga tao sa PNP. This means that PIO has the responsibility of developing and implementing strategic communication plans tied to the PNP's goals and priorities in the areas of public awareness and advocacy. So, trabaho doon ng PIO na magkaroon ng strategic communication na nakadepende doon sa goal ng PNP at magkaroon ng public awareness or yung na awareness yung publiko sa advocacy ng PNP. Okay. So, based on the paragraph, let us answer the following question. If you are part of the IPO unit, which is the most beneficial issue? Ano daw yung pinaka-importanting issue na pwede mong ipaalam sa public? The role of the PIO, yung role mo daw, kailangan mo ipaalam sa public. The description of the media relations with the PNP, ang ano daw, ang tawag dyan, ang pagpapaliwanag ng media relations sa PNP. The Philippine crime situation is better than most American cities. So, ipakita mo daw na mas maganda pa ang situation natin sa crime rate kaysa sa ibang United States cities. The importance of a positive relationship between the media and the PNP. Ang importansya daw ng relasyon ng media at ng PNP. Or PNP is the one of the most corrupt, ineffective, and inefficient agencies of the government. Siyempre guys, ang pinaka-importante dyan ay ang description of media relations with the PNP. Kailangan nilang maintindihan yung relasyon ng PNP sa media para maintindihan din nila na hindi lahat ng ipinapakita sa media is reflective of PNP, no? So, hindi naman kailangan ipakita yung importance ng positive relationship between media and PNP. Kasi pag pinakita na positive yung relationship ng media and PNP, hindi na din magtitiwala yung tao sa media at hindi na din magtitiwala sa PNP kasi pagpapanggap na lang ang lahat. Char! Sige. Ang correct answer po natin dyan ay number 2. Number 72. The best title of the passage is, ano? The role of the PNP PIO, the media and public perception, PNP, PIO, and public perception, the influence of media on the image building of PNP, the importance of sound relationships between PNP and the media. Ang best title po of the passage is the media and public perception. Bakit? Tignan mo dito. Nakadepende daw yung tiwala ng Philippine National Police, ng tao sa Philippine National Police sa media. Ayan. So, sinabi na dyan talaga very explicitly na yung media ay nakaka-apekto sa public perception or yung paniniwala ng publiko. Kaya ang sagot po natin sa number 72 ay 2. Tama ka na naman, Patrick Flores pala. Sorry. Number 73. Unfavorable public perception towards the PNP may be attributed to, yun daw hindi magandang perception or hindi magandang pagtingin sa PNP ay ano daw yung dahilan nun? Is it the quality of media treatment on the PNP? Unfavorable perception of media over the PNP? The public image of the PNP is dependent on media? The PNP and the media are partners in crime solution? Public confidence can be improved through the PNP PIO. Guys, wala pong kinalaman po itong 5 dito kasi ano naman yun, yung hinahanap niya dyan is bakit daw masama yung tingin ng tao sa PNP. Siyempre, ang sagot po natin dyan ay yung quality, yung dahilan ng, di ba, quality of media treatment. No? Kung babalik tayo dito sa paragraph, ang sabi dyan, public confidence and continued patronage for its service is largely influenced by media treatment. Ayan. Very verbatim po sa ating what do you call this? Ating paragraph. So, ang sagot po dyan ay 1. Tama ka na naman, Regeline. Ang galing mo talaga. Okay, last 2 items na tayo, guys. I'm so happy and I'm so proud na matatapos po tayo. And the 180 viewers stayed until the end. Congratulations. Number 74. The passage implies that media could make or unmake the PNP. Oh, pwede daw maging dahilan ng pagsikat ang PNP, ang media, or maging dahilan ng pagbagsak ng ang media ng PNP. Media must help PNP improve its public image. Kailangan daw tulungan ng media yung PNP na mag-improve ang kanilang image. Or the public image of PNP is dependent on media. Nakadepende daw sa media yung public image ng PNP. O yung PNP daw are partners in crime solution or public confidence can be improved to the PNP PIO. Guys, obvious yung sagot. That is, media must help improve, ano no? Yes. Ayan. Nag-i-imply sila na kailangan tulungan ng media yung PNP na ma-improve yung public image. Oo. Kaya nga, sinasabi na dun, kaya ang pangit ng tingin sa amin kasi dahil sa media. O, para tulungan nyo naman kami na improve. Char. Oo. Parinig ng konti, sagot lagi. Char. Ang final number natin, guys, the phrase proactive media relation programs means that PNP and media must maintain active relations. Yung proactive, pag sinabi po natin proactive, wala pang problema, magsusolusyon ka na. Media relations can be prepared as the need arises. Pag sinabi natin can be prepared as the need arises, ang tawag po dyan ay hindi siya proactive. Kasi sinusolusyonan mo yung problema pag nandyan na. Pero pag proactive ka po, wala pang problema, sinusolusyonan mo na. So, wrong yan. PNP plans and prepares media programs on a long-term basis. Pwede po yung long-term kasi hindi pa nangyayari, meron ka ng plano. Media relations program can be scheduled based on the convenience of PNP. Makadepende daw yung relation ng media sa kung kailan free yung PNP. Siyempre guys, very obvious ang sagot po natin dyan ay, guys, hindi yan sagot ha, wrong yan, wrong yan. Ang sagot po ay number 4. Pag proactive po, kailangan hindi pa nangyayari, meron ka ng solusyon. Ang sagot po ay, nagkamali lang po ng na-emphasize, ang sagot po ay number 4. Again, number 4 po ang sagot natin sa number 75. PNP plans and prepares media relations programs on a long-term basis. And dyan na po nagtatapos ang ating verbal reasoning rationalization for your NAPOLCOM entrance exam. Thank you po for listening with me and being with me for the rest of our rationalization. And I hope you learned a lot. I hope you'll be able to use some of